Okay, it's December 12th, 2011. I'm not wearing my special hat today because it is raining and it's cold here in California. Although probably not as cold as it is on the East Coast. Anyway, so we're going to talk today about, first of all, a lot of you, there have been a couple of people that have, I don't get very many comments. That's because people aren't educated in the areas that I've been educated in. One guy just recently said something about nut job. That's what he sends me. Well, if I'm the nut job, it's actually you're the nut job. Anyway, if you don't have a background truly in quantum physics, chaos physics, if you haven't even stuck your nose in a biology book or you didn't pick up any real biology when you were in school, then you're the dumb one. And you've got no right pointing the finger at other people, calling them uh, a nut job or that they need meds or any of that stuff. How do you know? Do you know anything? Did you check the 5 things I told you to check? This guy shows pictures of his electrical machines, generating power. But let me tell you something. I bet that guy doesn't know anything about Tesla. I bet he doesn't know anything about how much the government has suppressed. And now I'm going to give you some more proof so to make you feel like the idiot that you are. The Germans invented night vision during World War II. They also invented synthetic oil. They also invented, and all this information I'm telling you right now, they also had a flying saucer. And this information is a part of the public record now because the guy who picked it all up and wrote a book about it got it from the U.S. military, the Army, the Navy, the Air Force, all of them. Synthetic oil was kept secret since World War II, up until the gas shortage in the 1970s when Mobil Oil introduced synthetic oil. Synthetic oil, you want to know what it is? It's just mineral oil. That's all it is. And it's run through a special process. And I'm not going to talk about molecules and the size of molecules because none of you, or very few of you, have the kind of training I have, which I have learned over many decades. I talked about this water being in the past, and I know a lot of you probably looked at the tape, and some of you they're really smart and really intelligent enough to be curious enough to go check out what I told you. And those that do will be in the same place I'm at, convinced that something exists. Now, there are different inputs that everybody can have. We are all different human beings, and we all come up with the different inputs to what we see in our environment. Our environment meaning the whole world, everything that happens to us, including down to the quantum level, the subatomic level. And when you're dealing with stuff like that, you come up with people who are coming up with theories. I solved the grand unified field theory a long time ago. Yeah, and I'm about to show it to you rather than show it to the government, because the government has suppressed me for years and they've kept me here a prisoner. That's why all that negative stuff I talk about, the ranting and raving, they know I'm going through a tough time. They know that they caused it. And they know that they're the ones, they're the idiots, not me, because they're the ones that continue to finance the wars, the death, the destruction. If anybody should be held accountable for war crimes, it should be the United States of America. They're the ones that are guilty of war crimes, because look at all the wars that they've conducted. They've been the master of conducting all these wars, and they gave themselves the reason to give the people all this propaganda. The terrorists didn't bomb the World Trade Center, nor the Pentagon. Why does the World Trade Center, representation of the World Trade Center, appear on the $20 bill when you fold it the right way? I showed you on one of my other videos. But that's, I'm just going to get to the point here. and show you. If you did, if you have any kind of training, even in a rudimentary quantum physics, and if you've ever been to the Fermi lab or the lab at CERN, and most of them that tune into this will understand me more than the idiots that call me a nut job or that I need meds or any of that stuff. If anybody needs meds, it's all of you, because you're all hypnotized. You're all pawns in all of this. I found the answer to the unified field theory, and it's not in mathematics. It can be shown through mathematics, but I'm going to show it. I'm going to explain it to you so that you understand it. We're only 5 minutes, almost 6 minutes into the video. I'm going to explain it to you the way it works. If you checked the 5 different things I told you to go check in my last video, which is the entanglement research, the holographic universe research, the clam experiments, Jacques Cousteau's experiments, the 2 saltwater tanks, and not being able to explain why the fish were dying in one saltwater tank and yet the other tank with regular, real ocean water, the fish were thriving. Or the Dr. Emoto's website, why crystals are able to hold their symmetry no matter what language you paste on the bottle, of positive or negative statements. The symmetry is held together of the crystals, frozen water, with positive statements. And when you used ugly, like calling someone a nut job, that's an ugly statement, and that breaks up symmetry. So you're the idiot. Now, I know a lot of people are going to say, well, Caesar, you're contradicting yourself because you yourself rant and rave and you put down the government and you say all these bad things about us. Well, I have a right to. You have done damage to me because you don't understand how the universe works. So now I'm going to tell you how it works and why the Big Bang happened, most of all, and who's responsible for it. To get an idea of how this works, you would have had to have seen, I think National Geographic in the 80s showed a picture of what an atom looked like. Yes, it does exist. You can see an atom. There's this kind of clouds that are around the atom. But it's not the atom. It's not the picture of the subatomic particles. It's not a picture of the photographic plates you see when the electrons or protons are fired in the Fermi lab all the way around, and they show up on this photographic plate. Or a cloud chamber where you see cosmic rays, you can see their trails. No one's ever frozen an atom, so you can't verify that the electrons really orbit around an atom. And I don't care what scientists you talk to, they can talk till they're blue in the face. You haven't proved it yet until you've frozen an atom, and you never will freeze an atom, and I'll tell you why. And it's in 2 words: dark matter. When I talked about the 99th monkey philosophy, about what was it that was able to send messages from one island, hundreds of miles in the Sea of Japan, from one island to the next island, how to send messages to each other without there being any, wireless communication. Monkeys don't have laptops. I mean, they were just shown how to wash the fruit. And then when it reached the 99th monkey see, monkey do, when it got to the 99th monkey washing that piece of fruit, it started happening on another island 100 miles away. Listen, I know how the universe works. In between every atom, there is space. No matter how tiny the space is, it's there. Okay? That space is dark matter throughout the whole universe. I'll give you some quick comparative examples. Laser light, the special light that laser shows, cannot be found naturally in any place of the universe. It's something that has to be built. A magnet that is broken in half, a physical 3-dimensional magnet that's broken in half, that's not broken, has a north pole and south pole. But when you break that magnet in half, the north pole of the magnet that you've broken, that is in your left hand, and the other piece is in your right, the north pole of that magnet changes to, guess what? South pole immediately. It opposes the first magnet. You try to put the magnet back together where it's broken, and yeah, you can push it back together, but it pushes away. It repels. because south like poles repel. Well, get ready. And I'm sure the government's going to listen to this now because I have the answer to unified field theory. I know why the Big Bang happened. Here's what happens at the subatomic level. The space between the atoms gets compacted so much that it squeezes dark matter away from every atom. Kind of like a neutron star. A teaspoon of neutron star would weigh on planet Earth about as much as a battleship. So it becomes so dense, scientists explain that crazy things start happening, things that are not explainable through normal mathematics. Well, the reason monkeys and the 99th monkey philosophy can talk to each other like that through the air, the signals, not talk, but the signals of the monkeys washing their fruit, and the reason it travels through the air is because there's space between the atoms. This dark matter is alive. There isn't a water being per se like Neptune or Poseidon. Dark matter is alive throughout the whole universe, and it is a thinking being, and it gains benefits by everything we do, including wars, deaths, destruction. We're composed of atoms, and we think we're solid. I'll do a clap here. My hands stop. But they only stop because I can't go in between my atoms. But if I were to condense myself tighter and tighter and tighter, you'd squeeze the dark matter. The dark matter is necessary to exist in order for this dark matter being to be able to be aware that this is going on in a different place. This is why supernovas happen. Once they condense and become that dense, a natural explosion takes place. Black holes do not continue collapsing forever. There is a point in time where it will stop when dark matter has been squeezed out between any atomic existence, any subatomic particle, so hard that it finally results in a tremendous explosion. And this is dark matter's way of being able to continue to exist. You can't kill dark matter. Energy can neither be created nor destroyed, but neither can dark matter. If that rule applies to matter, meaning energy and matter, E equals mc squared. Then they're missing the part of the equation that tells you that if you squeeze dark matter tight enough, it will explode. If you put a crystal down and you put a copper plate on the bottom and a aluminum plate on the top, and you put heavy weights on that crystal, and you put you attach a solder a wire to the aluminum plate and a wire to the copper plate, you will get a reading on a meter from pressure of the rock. If you squeeze a rock hard enough in a chamber, it will not only explode, but when it explodes, it releases a bright light of energy. This has been proven in research. Dark matter is alive throughout the whole universe. It is, for lack of a better word, for those people that believe in God, if there's a God, that's the God that exists in the universe. And God cannot allow itself to be pushed out of anything. It is totally and absolutely in control. And it's control of you. That's why I say you don't have free will. I don't care whether, yeah, you have free will to kill, maim, and destroy, but dark matter, like in the Matrix, benefits from the negative or positive things that you do while you're alive. That's why I'm so down on the government, because the wrong people are running things. Once you attain a true understanding about how the universe really works, that this exists, then dark matter recognizes this, and you become a person to be attacked, because all of those other people don't understand it. They have no idea how it works, and because they don't know how it works, immortality, the stuff that Christ talked about, you don't die when you die, you just change shape. Your atoms still exist, but they change shape. Let's talk about this some more in a minute in my second recording.